Next up for presenters, we have Mr. Gordon Harris. Gordon Harris is a community planner with a lifelong passion for sustainable practice. He has spent a 30-year career working to demonstrate that the best communities are the ones that are integrated and sustainable socially, ecology, and economically. Oops, too much wine. They are communities that were built to last. Working with developers in Canada and as a consultant internationally, Gordon has taken the message of conscientious and profitable sustainability to places as far-flung as China, the United Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Bosnia, Montego, and Guatemala. In his current role, he is the president and CEO of the SFU Community Trust, responsible for building a model sustainable community on Burnaby Mountain. Gordon will tell us about the challenges and successes of building University, and his involvement in the award-winning community. Gordon, please come up and save me.
Thanks very much. It's great to be here tonight representing SFU Community Trust. And there are two ways to describe the trust. One is technical and the other is perhaps a bit more inspirational. Technically, the trust is a development corporation where we oversee the provision of zoned, serviced, and subdivided land on Burnaby Mountain, not far from here. And we lease those sites to developers and builders on a 99-year fully prepaid basis. So not much poetry in that. But inspirationally, the trust is just that. We're an agency that holds one of the region's real jewels in trust, and that is the land sitting on Burnaby Mountain. So it's our job to create a model sustainable community, as you just heard, and a community that serves both the academic mission of Simon Fraser University, which is one of Canada's leading comprehensive university, even as we demonstrate best practices in sustainable development. So when you look out tonight on a clear night at Burnaby Mountain, this is what you don't see. And we're very proud of that fact. That could have been what was developed on Burnaby Mountain had the development begun in the 1960s when the university was built. It took 30 years to start planning the community, and thank goodness, because in that time we started thinking very differently about how communities should be built. The Board of Governors decided that what they wanted was a vibrant, a livable, affordable community that would reduce the impact on the environment, not add to the problem. So SFU donated much of its otherwise developable land to the Burnaby Mountain Conservation Area, and in return the City of Burnaby transferred density from that land to a 160-acre parcel beside the campus. That's what we're building. Buildings like this, beautiful, practical, livable, and certainly affordable and price competitive compared to elsewhere in the region. 3,000 plus people already living here, on our way to 10,000. This is a building that is particularly affordable, a shared equity project that we developed jointly with Van City Enterprises and Resource Rethinking Building. We leased the land at 30% below market. Van City in turn sold the units at 20% below market, and that saving is passed on to the next purchasers as well. But a true community is more than just a collection of houses. Before we developed what we call University, SFU was a commuter campus. People went up in the morning, they came down in the evening, they didn't go there on the weekends. Students had to travel by bus or have their own car to get anywhere for entertainment, for shopping. That's all changed. We have a high street, we have a Nestor's Market, we have a deli, a pharmacy, a post office, cafes, restaurants, dentists, church, bank, hairdresser, travel agent, even a dollar store. And so it's a very different kind of community. It's a real community. We also have just opened last year University Highlands Elementary School. It's a LEED Gold building that welcomed 174 students on its first day in September 2010. Those students were also commuters. They used to have to be driven down the hill to go to school. Now they can walk home and walk to school within the community. And very soon we'll be opening this building, which is a university child care center. It's going to meet the most stringent green building standards in North America called a living building. It'll generate more energy than it uses. It'll harvest more rainwater than the building uses. All the materials will be local, will be non-toxic, both in the construction and the operation of the building. And the best news, certainly from my perspective as the CEO of the organization, it's going to come in well under the cost of comparable child care centers being built elsewhere in the region. And this gets very directly to the notion of being a model sustainable community, modeling that things can be done differently. This is an example of what didn't work well in the early days of the project. This was one of the first streets we built and one of the very first streets to wash away in a winter storm. We're at the beginning of a watershed. Everything we do is felt downstream, here and elsewhere. And so we have to be very careful to manage stormwater in a responsible way so the quality and the quantity of that stormwater doesn't cause damage downstream. This is a bioswale in the community where we store and remediate stormwater before it goes back into the Stony Creek watershed. On our most recent phase of zoning in the community, working with the City of Burnaby, we introduced what we believe is the most comprehensive green zoning bylaw in North America. Every building from now on has to be a minimum of 30% more energy efficient than the Model National Energy Code. And if it's more than that, and the developers get, say, to 45%, we'll give them additional density to reward them for aiming as high as they do. And another measure, and to me, maybe the real measure of sustainability, is the economic measure. If we're going to be a model community, we have to be doing things that other people can copy, can model. And if they can't afford to do that, then we haven't done our job. So we have to demonstrate that a project like the Child Care Center is cost competitive or just plain less expensive than a conventional project. We're also sensitive to the environmental footprint. A lot of bus traffic going up and down the hill carrying students. We're very conscious of the effect that has on our community and on our neighboring communities. Nearly 40% of our residents use transit on a regular basis. 10% don't even have cars. It's a different kind of community. Some of you have probably heard talk of the urban transit gondola that we're proposing. Take the 145 shuttle bus off Burnaby Mountain. Take 50% of all the bus traffic off the hill, replacing it with something not unlike the peak-to-peak chair in Whistler. Greenhouse gas reductions are dramatic. This is a reminder why we do it. This is convocation at Simon Fraser University. So we're doing everything we do for a couple of reasons. One, we think it's the right thing to do. Two, as you heard in the introduction, we're very committed, and I'm personally very passionate about ensuring that we continue to develop more sustainably as time goes on. But we're also making the university a far more complete community. It's no longer just a commuter community. And so one of the things we're doing is supporting the university. So far, we've contributed about $26 million to the university as an endowment specifically for teaching and research. That gets to our notion of sustainability, something that will be ongoing. We're proud of what we've done. We're not yet satisfied. We're still working on it. Thank you very much.